Today I'm troubleshooting this 2013 Passat with cylinder 1 misfire. I'm going to do a compression test. And for that we're going to need to, number 1, pull out fuel pump fuse, and number 2, pull out the ignition fuse. This one is 2.5 liters gasoline engine, and the fuse box compartment is located over here. Number 1, we're going to pull the ignition fuse. It's this 30 amp fuse right here. Keep in mind, every car could be different. What you need to do is find a diagram for your particular car. I found this really cool interactive diagram at startmycar.com. Go check them out. Next, we're going to pull the fuel pump fuse, 5 amps right there next to the previous one. And we're going to try to test this to make sure it's correct fuse for the fuel pump. Once I turn the key, we shouldn't hear the pump buzzing in the back of the car. All right, here you go. There's no more fuel pump sound. And then we're going to crank the car. It should be cranking, but it shouldn't start. All right, looks good. To remove the engine cover, first we'll need to take out these 2 screws using Torque's T20 bit. Next, release the clamp and disconnect the air duct tube. And for the reference, here are the locations of the mounting holes on the engine cover, as well as the mounting pegs on the engine itself. I noticed it might be easier to start on the rear left side, and then move on to the other corners and just yank it out. It's going to be pretty tight on there, so don't be afraid. It's going to take a lot of force to take this cover off. Next, we need to disconnect the wires and take out the ignition coils. Then take out the spark plugs. Okay, now we are ready for the compression test. Also, be sure to have some source of water near you. I've got a hose, one on this side and another one on the other side, just in case. Thread the compression tester tool into the spark plug hole. I personally prefer to take out all of the spark plugs. That way, engine will be cranking a lot easier. And since we're going to be doing a lot of engine cranking, your battery may die very quickly, so it won't hurt to connect battery charger to it. Now we're going to start cranking the engine until the highest compression reading is obtained. At that point, the arrow on the gauge will stop climbing any further. Measure compression on all of the cylinders and write them down. Compare the measurements to the factory specifications and make sure that none of them are out of range. In my case, all of the cylinders look fine, which is good news, but I still need to figure out why cylinder 1 is misfiring. In my next video, I'm going to be testing ignition coil and spark plug in cylinder 1. Be sure to check that out as well. But for now, that's it. I hope the video was helpful, and if so, please give it a like. Thanks. Have a nice day.